Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Sana Jabin, working as an assistant professor in Department of Botany, Dean of Science and Technology, University of Education, Lahore. Today is the fifth lecture of the course Techniques in Microbiology, and this lecture is about staining techniques. Let's have a look over our course outline. Here in the outline, you can see the staining techniques topic is here under the main heading microscopy. Previously, we learned about the preparation of microscopic slides, and now we will study about the staining techniques, and then we will observe these organisms under the microscope by preparing the slides with the help of specific stains. First of all, I will introduce about the topic. Why staining is important? Most of the cells and microorganisms that we observe under the microscope are colorless. This makes it difficult to detect important cellular structures and their distinguishing characters without artificially staining these specimens. There are certain techniques involving stains to observe such specimens. Here you can see in this picture, you are watching colorless bacteria under the compound microscope. These are not stained. In the second picture, you are watching gram-positive bacteria. This picture is taken with the help of compound microscope, and these bacteria are stained with the gram staining, and these bacteria gain the color that is blue from the crystal violet, and these bacteria are more clearly visible in comparison with these colorless bacteria. Here in the third picture, you can see the bacteria under the compound microscope, which has two different colors. Here, some cells are pink, and some cells, if you see, bears the small portion which is blue in color. This is the type of differential staining, and here in this picture, you can see the endospore forming bacteria, and the blue color represents the endospores and the pink color represents the gram-negative bacteria. So you can see the bacteria more clearly with the help of compound microscope by the staining procedures which involve different types of staining. Here you can see the gram-positive bacteria which are stained using the gram staining technique, and these are stained with the help of endospore staining techniques. In this lecture, we will discuss specific techniques for sample preparation in detail. Indeed, numerous methods have been developed to identify specific microbes, cellular structures, or indicators of infection in tissue samples under the microscope. Here, we will focus on most relevant techniques to our course. Preparation of staining of specimens. Although living organisms can be directly examined with the light microscope, they often must be fixed and stained to increase visibility, to study specific morphological features, and to preserve them for future study. So, fixation is the process by which the internal and external structure of cells and microorganisms as a whole are preserved and fixed in a position. The fixation process inactivates those enzymes that might change the cell morphology and strengthen the cell structures so that they do not change during staining and observation. A microorganism usually killed during this process and attached firmly to the microscope slide during the fixation process. There are several methods to fix the microbes with the slides. The first one and the most common method is the heat fixation. It is used to observe prokaryotes. For example, it is used to preserve bacteria and sometimes the cyanobacteria. For heat fixation, what we will do is we will take a slide, a glass slide with appropriate size, and take a small portion of bacterial culture in the form of colony from a Petri plate and put them on the slide with the help of some needle and spread it over the slide in the form of a thin layer. And we gently then heat the slide, the back side of the slide over the flame, which could be from the spirit lamp. This heat fixation preserves the overall morphology but not the structures within the cells. For example, the cytoplasmic contents or the other parts, for example, in case of prokaryotes, the ribosomes could not be preserved. The other method is the chemical fixation. It is used to protect the fine cellular structure and the morphology of the larger and more delicate microbes. Chemical compounds used during this process penetrate the cells and react with cellular components, usually proteins and lipids, and make them inactive, insoluble, and immobile. Common fixative mixtures contain such components as ethanol, also known as the alcoholic fixation, acetic acid, mercuric chloride, formaldehyde, and glutaraldehyde. Dyes and simple staining method. The many types of dyes used to stain microorganisms have chromophore group, which are called the functional groups, for example, the nitro group. These groups give the dye its color. For example, the nitro group gives yellow color to the compound. The chromophore groups can bind with the cells by ionic, covalent, or hydrophobic bonding. Most dyes are used to directly stain the cell or object of interest, but some dyes are used in negative staining, where the background but not the cell is stained. Then unstained cells appear as bright objects against a black, dark background. Dyes that bind cells by ionic interactions are probably the most commonly used dyes. These insoluble dyes or inionizable dyes may be divided into two general classes based on the nature of their charged group. For example, the basic dyes and the acidic dyes. First, we will discuss the basic dyes. They have positively charged groups and are generally in the form of chloride salts. They are methylene blue, basic fuchsin, crystal violet, safranin, malachite green. They are positively charged groups and bind to the negatively charged molecules like nucleic acids, many proteins, and the surfaces of prokaryotic cells. The other types of dyes is the acidic dyes. These include eosine, rose bengal, acid fuchsin. They possess negatively charged groups, for example, the carboxylic group and the phenolic groups or phenolic hydroxyls. Acidic dyes, because of their negative charge, bind to the positively charged cell structures. Next is the simple staining. Microorganisms often can be stained very satisfactorily by simple staining, in which a single dye is used. Simple staining values lies in its simplicity and ease of use. It covers the fixed smear with stain for a short period of time, washes the excess stain with the help of water, and blots the slide to make it dry. Basic dyes like crystal violet, methylene blue, and carbofuchsin are frequently used in simple staining to determine the size, shape, and arrangement of prokaryotic cells. For the staining of eukaryotic cells like fungi, there are some stains that are used to give color to the colorless hyphae for better contrast like Congo red, cotton blue, and trypan blue. Here in this picture, you can see the E. coli cells are stained with the help of crystal violet, and there is only the use of one stain that stained the cell wall of these bacteria. Here in this picture, you can see the cells stained with the methylene blue, and these are the two types of the simple staining method in which only one stain is used. The other method is the differential staining. The Gram stain developed in 1884 by the Danish physician Hans Christian Gram. Here you can see his picture. The Gram stain is the most widely employed staining method in bacteriology. It is an example of differential staining. It is the staining procedure that are used to distinguish organisms based on their staining properties. Use of Gram stain divides bacteria into two classes, Gram-negative bacteria and Gram-positive bacteria. Now we will study the Gram staining in detail. Here you can see in this picture, some bacteria shows blue color and some shows a pink color. The blue color represent that the bacteria gain the blue color by the crystal violet, while the pink bacteria are the gram negative bacteria which do not take in the color the crystal violet, and so they are seen like the pink color. For the gram staining, the first step is to fix the bacteria with the slide by some fixation method. For example, you will fix the slide, you will fix the bacteria on the slide using the heat fixation or chemical fixation. I already told you the procedure of fixation. In the first step, the bacteria are stained with the crystal violet dye. Then in the next step, the iodine is used, which increases the interaction between the cell and the dye so that the cell is stained more strongly. Now this smear or the bacteria on the slide are decolorized by the washing with ethanol or acetone. This step generates the differential aspects of Gram stain. Here in this picture, you can see some bacteria are colorless and some are blue due to the crystal violet. Gram-positive bacteria retain the crystal violet, whereas Gram-negative bacteria lose their crystal violet and become colorless. Finally, the smear is counterstained with a simple basic dye, different in color from the crystal violet. Safranin is the most common counterstain. It colors the Gram-negative bacteria pink to red and leaves Gram-positive bacteria dark purple. Here you can see in this picture, some bacteria are pink and others are blue, which are stained with the crystal violet and retain the stain, and the other, firstly, they lose the stain by the alcoholic treatment, and then they gain the stain safranin and represent the gram negative bacteria. Another type of staining is the acid-fast staining, also called the Zell-Nielsen method. These are two German doctors and they gave this procedure. It is another important differential staining procedure commonly used to identify some pathogenic or disease-causing bacteria. For example, the Mycobacterium tuberculosis that cause the disease tuberculosis in humans, and Mycobacterium leprae that cause the disease leprosy in humans. These bacteria have cell walls with high lipid content, which prevent dyes from readily binding to these cells. They can be stained by harsh method that uses heat and phenol to drive basic fuchsin into the cells. Once the basic fuchsin has penetrated, Mycobacterium tuberculosis and Mycobacterium leprae are not easily decolorized by acidified alcohol, also called the acid alcohol, and thus they are said to be the acid-fast bacteria. Non-acid fast bacteria are decolorized by acid alcohol and thus are stained blue by methylene blue as counterstain. Staining of specific structures. For example, capsule. Capsule staining is a technique that reveals the presence of capsules. It is usually made of polysaccharides around many bacteria and some fungi. For the study of capsules, bacterial cells are mixed with India ink or nigrosin, which are used as dyes and spread out on a slide in the form of a thin layer. After air drying, the cells appear as lighter bodies in the blue, black or black background because ink and dye particles cannot penetrate either the cell or its capsule. Thus, capsule staining is an example of negative staining. So here you can see in this picture, you can see the black background. Here white color represents the capsule around the bacteria, and here you can see the small inner portion which is the bacterial protoplast, and this is an example of negative staining. Here you can also see in this picture some pink bacteria, and the light pink color shows the presence of capsule, and this inner small portion represent the bacterial cell. The light pink color represents the capsule, and this dark background shows the stain, and this is an example of negative staining. Next is the endospore staining, and it is also called Schaefer-Fulton procedure. An endospore is a resistant structure produced by some bacterial genera, for example, Bacillus and Clostridium. It helps the bacteria to survive under unfavorable environmental conditions. It is called an endospore because of its development within the parental bacterial cell. Endospore morphology and location vary with species and often are valuable in identification. Endospores may be spherical to elliptical and either smaller or larger than the diameter of parental bacterial cell. Endospores are not stained well by most dyes, but once stained, they are strongly resistant to decolorization. This property is the basis of most endospore staining methods. Endospore staining, like acid-fast staining, also requires the harsh treatment. In this procedure, endospores are first stained by heating the bacteria with malachite green, which is a very strong stain that can penetrate the endospores. After malachite green treatment, the rest of the cells are washed with water to remove the extra dye and counterstain it with the safranin. This technique yields a green endospore resting in the pink to red cell. So in this picture, you can see the blue color which represents the endospores and the pink color that represents the gram-negative bacteria. You can also stain the gram-positive bacteria with this procedure, and the gram-positive bacteria will appear blue in color. So there are several colors depending upon the staining of the bacteria and presence of the polysaccharides, amount of polysaccharide, which is a differential technique used to differentiate between the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria, and malachite green gives the endospore a blue color. Next is the flagella staining. It provides taxonomically valuable information about the presence and distribution pattern of flagella in the prokaryotic organisms. Prokaryotic flagella are fine thread-like organelles which are used for the locomotion, that are so small and can only be seen directly using the electron microscope. To observe them with the light microscope, the thickness of flagella is increased by coating them with mordants like tannic acid and aluminium potassium sulfate, and then staining with crystal violet or basic fuchsin, also called the gray method. Phenol is added in the staining and it is used as antifungal agent if the cells of the fungi are present in the mixture of the bacteria. This test has been found especially useful in providing taxonomic and identifying the information about the motile bacteria and more recently anaerobic bacteria. This is all about staining of microorganisms and the use of different stains according to requirement of the experiment. Here you can see the reading material. Some part of this presentation was taken from the book District Laboratory Practice in Tropical Countries, and it is taken from the page 35 to page 45. The most part of this presentation was taken from the Microbiological Applications, a laboratory manual in general microbiology, from the pages 25 to 28. And here you can see another book, which is the Microbiology Canadian edition. You can find this book online as well, easily available, freely available on the internet. And these are some sources which give you detail about some type of staining, for example, the flagella staining and the capsule staining. This is all about this lecture. Thank you.